You've got no notes today.
No, nothing there. Don't need them.
Must be up these rips in those jeans.
I knew you'd have something to say about the jeans. Hello, welcome back to the Villa View. As you can see, we're at the glorious Villa Park pre-Ipswich game to sit down and have a chat with club legend Ian Taylor, just to have a little catch up really and see what's been going on with Villa since the last time we spoke to him. Also, we do like a game here at the Villa View as well, so we've gone down to the club shop and got Villa's Guess Who, so we're going to play that with Tails as well. No, not in this game, not in this version, you don't.
Not in this game.
So now I've asked you that question, did you play with them? So you got to tell me yes or no.
Yeah.
You did play with them?
Oh, I've got to choose one.
No, right. Okay.
What questions can you ask?
Let's move away from the nostalgia to begin with. Let's talk about Villa at the moment. Obviously, when Dean Smith came in, it was like first game he won, and then we lost a couple. But then we went on a really good run, and I thought, right, we're on to something special here. We're on to something special, but it just hasn't happened. It's not been the best month or so. What do you think the reason for that is?
Injuries. I think injuries to key players. I think that's plain to see. Jack's been a massive miss. Not just from a fan's point of view, I think the rest of the dressing room as well. When you've got a player as good as Jack in your team and he's not there, you know, the first thing that fans do when they look at the team sheet and Jack's not on it is, oh, no. And I think it's the same in the dressing room as well. Sometimes it shouldn't be like that,
no.
but I think it's only, you wouldn't be human if you didn't think like that.
So you think it's the lack of like-for-like replacement for Jack? Because last season, obviously, when Jack was injured, we had Onuma on loan, and he wasn't the most popular of players, but at least he was a player that could do some of the things that Jack can do. Do you think the balance of the squad, that's been our downfall, really, hasn't it?
Yeah, I do think the way that Dean wants to play as well, it's a factor. I think he's inherited players who played in a certain system before he got here. He wants to play in a different kind of way. And I think that's probably made a difference as well to the team, because he wants to play a high pressing game. I don't think we've got the legs to do that at the moment.
Because we've got quite an old squad.
Yeah. He wants to play with a different kind of footballer just in front of the back four as well. And he's tried different people playing in that position. I think Connor's probably done it the best up to now.
Yeah.
We've got away with it in a few games, but he's probably been the best there. But I think with his goal return, I think he's maybe needed a bit more further forward. So it's a conundrum that the manager's got to tackle, really.
Yeah, it's all about balance, isn't it? Because when Connor was playing that deep midfield role and he had McGinn and Jack in front of him, the balance of the midfield looked good. We were playing well, but as you say, that one man comes out and he just completely throws us.
So he's got to find someone who can fill that spot. He's tried a few different permutations and it's just not quite worked, has it?
Do you think he'll dip into the transfer market in midfield?
I think they're well and truly dipping into the transfer market. I think they're looking. It's just whether you can get the right players at this time of year who can make your team better. And I think any decent players that are around, nobody wants to let go.
No.
So it's a really tough time of year to try and get players in.
Do you worry about doing too much in January? Because a few years ago in the Championship, we had a big turnover of players in January, and at that point we were still in contention for playoffs, but we made a lot of changes and we kind of drifted away in the season, turned into nothing. Are you worried about that happening again?
Yeah, you don't get a pre-season to sort of try things out in friendly games, and they have to come in and they have to bed in straight away, and it's tough to do that. So it's always difficult, especially if you bring in some foreign players in who don't know the league and this, that and the other. So it's always going to be difficult from that point of view.
You just mentioned pre-season there, so it's unfair to judge Smith at the moment, isn't it? That the time where he'll really get to put his messages across will be when he's had a pre-season and he's got his own players in. That's the time truly then to start judging him, isn't it?
Yeah, but we all want results now, don't we?
Yeah.
And that's the difficult thing, is that, you know, a lot of people looked at this season as the season where we wanted to get up, and it's not turning out that way at the moment, and we've had a difficult run as it is. And you know, today we've got a tough game with Paul Lambert coming back. If the punters don't see what they want to see today, then it could be a bit hairy. So yeah, we need a result today, but that's the pressure, and it's part and parcel of football, isn't it?
When you played out there, did the pressure ever get to you on the pitch? I don't think it probably did, but it can get quite antsy at Villa Park when things aren't going well, and it must affect the players.
Yeah, there were some times when we weren't doing well, and you just have to dig in. And sometimes, I mean, I said it at a forum the other night, where sometimes you can't play well all the time, so you've got to go out there and just graft, get your tackles in, win 50-50 balls, and just work hard. And the results will come after that. And I think sometimes that's forgotten. You can't always play well, and I think the fans have to understand. I think all fans need to understand that you can't always go out there and beat teams 3-4-0. You have to grind some results out, especially when you're not playing well. You need something, and you need an own goal or something to just kick you off and get that first result.
A few games, I guess, sir. This is the beat he's been waiting for. It's more complicated than it looks for a kid's game.
Yeah, but with a couple of kids playing it.
That's true. That is true.
I'll pick one from the top.
What have you told me that for? Well, I know it's the top row, so I can get rid of all the bottom row. Has yours got the nickname God?
No.
No. Well, you're not going to.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Is he a defender?
Yes.
Yeah. So what do I put down now?
Anyone that's not a defender.
Yeah.
Would you have a guess?
Larson.
No.
Who?
Chester.
Oh yeah, because he loves James Chester.
No, because it seamlessly works into the video now, Tayls. That's why I did it. Obviously, like, Chester's playing virtually, it feels like he's playing on one leg at the moment. He's injured. He probably wouldn't be playing had we got more personnel in defence, and that's only come out recently. So the fans have probably been giving him a bit of a hard time. But realistically, he is doing that. He's putting his body on the line.
Again, that's another thing in football where players sometimes don't do themselves any favours when they're playing, when they're injured. And I know it's with all the best intentions, but as soon as you go out there for 90 minutes, everybody thinks you're fit, and they will shout at you, they will call you for making mistakes and everything. And sometimes that's why sometimes players, if they've got the slightest injury, they won't play.
Did you ever used to do that?
No, I've played when I was injured plenty of times, and like I say, sometimes it works against you, sometimes it works for you, and you get through it. But it's sometimes it's just a chance that you take.
What's your thoughts on like loans in general? Because it always seems to be a short-term fix for Villa.
Yeah.
It's something we've adopted quite heavily in the Championship, but we're going to move away from that now.
Yeah, I was going to say that's something that Christian Perslow's touched on, that we don't want as many loans as we have been having in the past, because you don't have that too much control over it. And with all the Tammy stuff that happened in this month, it's been out of our hands, and he wants to have much more control over things in the future, and I think that's the best thing to do.
Would you like to see some of the kids that are here now not really getting a chance at the moment? Would you like to see them O'Hare go out
on loan?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, because when Callum played in the cup here, I think I put it on Twitter. I was really looking forward to seeing him play. He just looked a bit out of his depth, and it just showed me that the gap there is between him playing in the 23s and being out here in front of 30-odd thousand, and it's a totally different proposition, isn't it? So maybe he is one of the ones who needs to go out and play a bit more, really competitive football.
Do you think again it will come down to pre-season? Because I expected when Smith came, and I thought, all right, the young players might get a go now, but actually he's kind of held them back. Do you think he's kind of waiting to give them a full pre-season to learn his methods?
Dan, it's difficult to put young players in mid-season.
Yeah.
Because this lot, they want to go and get into the Premier League. We all want to get into the Premier League, and you can't take chances. Or some managers don't want to take chances. Others can put young players in certain positions and get away with it.
Centre back, for example, is not one of them. So when we've had injuries, Revan's been on the bench, but we haven't seen him on the pitch. Is that because that's a pressure position?
When he's never played a game before.
Yeah.
So it's such a difficult one, because sometimes you have to put your head on the block and just go for it. But can Dean Smith afford to just go for it with young players? We don't know.
Obviously, you're behind the scenes there. What are the new guys, like the new owner, the new chief executive? What's the difference between this regime and the last regime?
I think there's a lot more big club mentality.
Yeah.
Within them. I think the owners have virtually given carte blanche to do what they want with the money, within reason, within FFP.
I mean, if you can explain financial fair play to us, that'll be handy.
I haven't got a clue, mate. But you can only spend as much as much revenue as you make.
Yeah.
So, you can't just go. The big money people in this league division can't just go and splash loads of money. So they've got to work within the means, and I know it's aimed at the smaller clubs, but it affects the bigger clubs.
Yeah.
So it's difficult, but I just think they all want the same thing. They all want to be in the Premier League, but it's not going to be put everything on red.
Yeah.
And it come up black like it did last season. Yeah. Did I play with this player?
Yes.
Myself.
I mean, I guess you did play with him.
Depends what you mean.
Yeah.
Was he left-footed?
Yes. Good question, that one. I didn't think of that. That does narrow it down.
I've got it.
Have you really? You're down to one?
Gareth Barry.
Yeah. It's disappointing.
Get in!
There's only 2 left-footed players on there. You've not done that on purpose, though. No way. No chance. He had not played this before. He wouldn't have been able to build this.
Just threw him with the first game. Dummy run.
So thanks ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, then make sure you're giving it the big old thumbs up. Always great to hear from Tayle. So yeah, if you have enjoyed it, give it a like. Comment below with your thoughts on the Villa at the moment as well. Hopefully by the time this video has come out, we've managed to get 3 points against Ipswich. If you're not already subscribed to the Villa View with your post notifications on, then if you could do that, that really, really helps the channel grow. And also, if you carry on watching this video, I'm going to tell you how you can win this copy of Villa Guess Who, which to be fair is great because you won't have had to have assembled it because we've spent an hour doing it before the video. So if you want to win this copy of Guess Who, all you've got to do is comment below with who I'm describing with the following clues. He wore the number 4 shirt for Aston Villa. He was an international footballer, and he has since gone on to be a manager since he retired from the game. This player also played under an ex-Villa manager that is managing in the current day championship. Guess who? If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. Be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking our logo there on the left. Easy peasy.